The person that went through abuse and healed and got stronger now feels like, wow, somebody actually needs me. I'm going to help this person. That's the same person you're going to bed with. And you're trying to help them recover from a psychologically abusive, almost permanently damaging, traumatic experience. Hello and welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. I'm your captain for today. My name is Kira, and I will be reading a comment, a very disturbing comment that I had the displeasure of reading. I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. Anyway, let's get right down to it. Listen. First of all, YouTube is screwing up the names again. So this has this person's entire username, Jess B5359, whatever. So we're gonna go by Jess. Jess, thanks for your comment. Jess says, can't we narc survivors just launch our own dating app? I bet there would be some awesome matches. Jess, have you been watching the show long enough to realize I hate dating apps? To answer your question, fuck no. Okay? You don't want to date somebody that's got a shit ton of trauma. Someone that just got off of a traumatic experience with a psychopath, with a sociopath, with a narcissist. You do not want to get involved with those people. Those people have a lot of trauma and a lot of baggage. That's why we're in this community. That's why we try to work, we try to help each other. We understand what we went through. The outside world doesn't, okay, until it happens to them. And then they're like, well, hot diggity damn. Now I understand those people. You don't want to get involved with someone that's recovering from abuse. It's no different than 12-step recovery. There's this thing called 13-stepping, and that means you're not supposed to date the people in the program. That's why Alcoholics Anonymous and all the 12-step programs, they tend to have, even though they have open meetings where both men and women can participate, they also have just men meetings and just women meetings. When you have a sponsor, you're not supposed to have, if you're a guy, you're not supposed to have a girl sponsor. If you're a girl, you're not supposed to have a guy sponsor. You're not supposed to do that. Because toxicity breeds toxicity and temptation. You don't want to do it, because this is what happens. You're going through this traumatic experience. You finally connect with somebody that understands, that also went through it. And now you're vulnerable in all these emotions and all this trauma, and you get confused. You get confused and you feel that this person, wow, I finally met a connection with someone that gets me because they went through the same thing. Now that's really cool if we're talking about similar interests. You like the same sports, you both like to cook lasagna, you both like to go skiing, you like the same type of movies, you like the same type of popcorn, but not when you share the same trauma. At some point or another, those demons come back again. It's like they are resurrected, because both parties now have new established, I'm not even going to say boundaries yet, but they're guarded. They're extra guarded and they're hyper vigilant. And they're quick to react the minute you show any signs of abuse, which may not even be abuse, but any signs that reminds them of what they went through. And they'll be calling you a psychopath narcissist right away. They'll be like, you're also a psychopath. See, you're just like my ex. My ex used to do the same thing. You're both narcs. That's gonna happen. That's a natural reaction. You got two traumatized people. that haven't healed yet. And even if one of them heals, the other wounded person is going to bring up those scars again. The healed person, the stronger person in that relationship dynamic, is going to play the role of the caretaker, of the teacher, of the therapist for the wounded. And the wounded is going to latch on to that one for strength and for support. You see what's going on there? There's a power dynamic that you don't even realize is happening. The person that went through abuse and healed and got stronger now feels like, wow, somebody actually needs me. I'm going to help this person. That's the same person you're going to bed with. And you're trying to help them recover from a psychologically abusive, almost permanently damaging, traumatic experience. The other person it's like the opposite. The other person's gonna look to you for strength. You're their rock. A twisted trauma bond may form when you 13 step. A twisted trauma bond happens with two people that have been abused and they're getting together. It's a recipe for disaster. Okay? You want to find yourself somebody that hasn't gone through this same type of narcissistic abuse. Somebody that's already radiating at a higher frequency. Somebody that you feel compelled not to talk about your dark past traumas and just reach for the stars with them, to build something together where you can leave this dark, haunting past behind you. You don't want to bring that other person down. You want to be inspired by that person. You want to be influenced by that person so that you can grow, so that you can soar with the eagles instead of scratching with the turkeys with another abusive, traumatized victim. You don't want to do that. You see, it's very easy. It's very easy to just connect with somebody that's been fucked over just like you. It's very easy. It's very easy to go to the 12-step programs, the rooms, like they call them. It's very easy to go to the rooms and connect with somebody after the meeting, and then you go home with them because you both have wounds that need to be filled. You have a void, so you're seeking temporary relief and you get confused. You shouldn't date your therapist. You shouldn't date your doctor. You shouldn't date anybody that has a higher type of professional authority in your life. You don't want to cross those lines, because the minute you cross those lines, you can never go back. That person can no longer be your doctor, your therapist, your lawyer. There's a conflict of interest that takes place. You can date a doctor, you can date a lawyer, you can date a therapist, but not yours. Keep those things separate. Do not date your sponsor. Do not fantasize about your sponsor. If anyone watching this video happens to be in any of the 12-step programs, do not date your sponsor. Do not date anybody from those rooms. Those rooms are supposed to be sacred. This community, these communities, I understand there are a lot of them, they're supposed to be sacred. It's not for you guys to start meeting up and start getting together and start dating. It's not that. Don't you see? Don't you learn? What's this desperation with dating where it's like, oh, okay, well, we haven't fully recovered. Let's just date each other. Now, I know that's not what you're saying, Jess. I'm being facetious. I'm just being playful with it. But believe me, there's a lot of people that are thinking that way. They do think that way. It's like, oh, finally, this is the place where I'm going to meet my soulmate. This is the place where I was destined to be here so that I can meet my other half. And you know what happens? You're also going to get a shit ton of predators that are going to be preying on you in these types of communities. It's the same thing happens. These are predators, the 13th step, that they go to those 12-step programs to hook up. Do you not remember this movie called Fight Club? Remember Fight Club? At the beginning of the movie, Tyler Durden, he's going to all these 12-step programs because he has insomnia and he's depressed and he has all sorts of shit. and he feels some sort of relief going to those rooms and sitting there and listening to everybody moan and crying and tell their victim story. He's finally getting some sort of clarity. And there happens to be, you know, I forgot the girl's name now. I believe that's Tim Burton's wife. I forgot her name. She's also a woman from Harry Potter. I can't believe I forgot her name. Somebody I know is going to kill me when they see this video. I forgot her name. Wow. I should like cut this part off, but I'm not. I'm not. Anyway, I digress as usual. So what ends up happening is that he hooks up with this woman, and there goes his peace, there goes his serenity, everything turns to shit. Oh yeah, and Tyler Durden was also schizophrenic, so a lot of bad things came from that. Do not cross the lines when you find a safe place, where you find something that's important to your healing, to your spiritual growth. Do not taint it with dating. Not in there. It's no different than dating someone that lives in your building. Do not date somebody that lives in your building. There's a saying that says, do not eat where you shit. Something like that. Dogs won't do that. Why would you? Another one is, don't date somebody at work, at your office. Because you know what happens? See most of relationships tend to fall apart. When shit goes bad, now you have an association with your job and your ex. Now you got to go to work, and you know that your ex is working there, and now you have problems. I know some of you, from reading the YouTube comments, I know some of you, your psychopath narcissist is a coworker that you have to see every day. I know some of you, your psychopath narcissistic abuser is your boss or your supervisor. You see what happened when you crossed the line? It didn't work out, and now you got to deal with that shit. Now you're afraid that they're going to fire you. Now you're walking on eggshells at the place that you need to pay your bills. You need to go there. You need to work so you can pay your bills. Might be a good idea to find another job. Dead serious. Dead serious. If you date someone that lives in your building, and believe me, I know it can be very tempting. If things go left, your ex lives in your freaking building. How are you going to move on when you're going to see them walking in and out of the building, and you're going to run into them, and you're going to see when they're dating somebody else? And God forbid you don't attract another narcissist, and they start creating a smear campaign to get you kicked out of your own apartment. You certainly don't want that. You don't want them to know where you live. I mean, well, it's not, obviously if you're dating someone, you know where they live, but what I'm trying to say is that if things go bad, they know where you live. Well, actually, they would always know where you live regardless. So scratch that. I hope you see my point despite the madness. Don't do it! These aren't the places for dating. No, stay away from dating apps too. If you haven't learned your lesson, have you not been burned already from dating apps? Don't you see? Don't you see that people put whatever the hell they want to put on dating apps to paint themselves as the greatest thing since sliced bread? They're all empaths. They're all perfection. They have all these qualities and all these accomplishments. And they're really monsters and predators, toxic people, just looking to hook up, just copying and pasting the same lines to all the profiles, hoping somebody bites. If you end up dating somebody like that, you have to realize, hey, you're with them because you're the one that took the bait. There was nothing special about the two of you because they said the same exact thing to everybody else. Now, how can you feel special about that? But yet, dating apps seem to be the thing that everybody gravitates towards nowadays. And it's just getting worse. More and more people are joining dating apps. It's not just the kids. It's not just the kids. It's the old people too. whatever happened to living your life and meeting somebody in the real world outside of the matrix or the other layer of the matrix, right? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to just seeing somebody and approaching somebody, or being at a party with somebody, or being at a dinner party or with friends and you get introduced to somebody and you talk in person and there's no games, like you see who they are at that moment. You know nothing about them. You're not reading a profile that checks off all these bullet points. That you're like, oh wow, they do this and they're into that and they're into that. It's so superficial. It's like you're just window shopping. And then what happens, since you're looking at, first of all, you're looking at a picture. You're looking at a picture and they're telling you all these great things about themselves, because it's not like they're going to say bad things. They're all, obviously, you're trying to sell yourself, right? So now you're reading that profile and you're thinking, you create an illusion. You idealize this pixel. You're idealizing a pixel, a collection of pixels. That's what you're idealizing. Little do you know that most profiles in dating apps are fake. They're bots. They're designed to take your money, to give you false hope, to make you think like, oh wow, I am getting hits, I am getting views. People are swiping right, they are swiping left. The app does work. Look at that. And it's BS. Have you never been catfished? Has that ever happened? The person's 50 pounds overweight? Like imagine that. Imagine having the audacity to create a profile and putting pictures from 10 years ago, and then you actually go on the date. What does that tell you about that person already? They're full of shit. They're full of shit. They have the audacity to do that. And if you had any type of dignity, you would walk right out immediately. You'd be like, hey, you're full of shit. Bye. Oh, but you stay because you don't want to hurt their feelings. No, fuck that. Your online shopping is what you're doing when you're on a dating app. So if I order some shit on Amazon and when I open the box, it's not what I ordered, it doesn't look like the picture on the website, I'm sending that shit back. I don't give a fuck. And I want a refund. You see? So many people getting burned on dating sites. It's just to hook up. It's hookup culture. You just want to get laid, go for it. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. But if you're looking for love, you know, from heaven above, send me an angel, bitch. You're not going to find it on a dating app. You're not. Stop lying to yourself. Good luck. I don't know anybody that's in a healthy, long-term relationship with somebody they met at a dating app. I don't know. Maybe you guys know them, and then there you go. That's why you have hope. I certainly don't. I know people that have dated and it hasn't worked out. I know a lot of people that can't find a good match. I know a lot of people that go on dates and it's a waste of time. I know a lot of people that go on dates, things feel good, and they get ghosted. It's frustrating. But when you meet somebody in real life, there's oh, what my chicken is ready. Guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this video soon, but not before I finish my thought. In real life, you know when there's a connection immediately. You're not building illusions in your head over a profile picture that you saw. You know what's up. You already know what's up. Of course, people can lie. They can lie by omission, but that's the beauty of dating, of getting to know the person. But you're not walking in there already with this predisposition of who they are and what you expect out of it because they happen to say on their profile that they like a certain color and that happens to be your favorite color. Oh my God, we are soulmates. We like the same movie. Oh my God. No. Bellatrix. It was Bellatrix, right? It's Bellatrix. God damn it. And that still sounds wrong. And I should know this. I don't know what's going on. I think I need some calories tonight. So, no, in my opinion, no, we should not create a narcissist abuse recovery dating app. Okay, I know you were probably kidding. I hope you were kidding, Jess. But some of you probably thought it was a great idea, and I'm going to shoot down that idea. I think that's a terrible idea. That's a bad idea, all right? Bad idea. Forget forget about it. All right? So just wanted to give you my 2 cents in 20 minutes. Hope you had a nice time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day or weekend, depending on whenever you get to this video. As usual, send over your comments. Send over your comments so I can make video responses for you. I'm curious how many of you would actually sign up for an anti-narcissist abuse dating app. I'm curious how many people will think that would be a great idea. If you disagree with me, leave me a comment. I would love to hear your side, your point of view. As usual, if you need help getting over, not moving, but moving forward from a toxic relationship, from an abusive relationship, I have a private coaching program. If you can take my tough love, you will see results. All right? You will see results. I have a link below in the description. Do not hesitate to reach out to get more information, see if we're a good fit. I would love to help you through this nightmare and help you move forward in your life and reach your life goals and your dreams and get past your trauma. And as far as ending the video, I think now it's the right time. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Be good to yourselves. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night. Peace.